All right, guys, we're back here on Southeastern 16, presented by FanDuel, SEC Basketball Tournament Predictions. I'm going to go through, make our picks game by game. We'll still do our predictions each day as the tournament progresses, but we will start from the beginning and just make our picks for all of them. Appreciate all the hall monitors in the chat currently trying to hand out demerits or head to in-school suspension for being 2 or 3 minutes late today. Not like we have anything going on this week. So Sam's asking, will the video start before LSU Kentucky tips off? Maybe not. Maybe we won't. Maybe we'll just hold off until that game. No, we always appreciate you guys keeping us on our toes. Punctuality, Max Barr. Yes, we've both always been great at that. The Cats and Tigers will, not so great. Those two will tip off on Wednesday. They'll both be punctual. They are the opening game of the SEC tournament, so we're going to get into that. The awards were handed out yesterday, and we'll get into how different they were than ours. Spoiler alert, not really much at all. And we'll then get into Lamont Paris returning at South Carolina, which we might just mention when we talk about the Gamecocks here in a second. And yeah, a lot going on, I would say, today.
I mean, it's March 10th. What else did you think there wasn't going to be a lot going on March 10th? Of course there's a lot going on. This is the time.
That was vacation. Not so much. All right. We're going to, how about before we dive into the bracket, before we do the thing that people actually want us to do, let's do the other stuff, because why not?
Fair play.
You know what? After some of the comments yesterday, you know what? You can wait a little bit. All right. Let's get into some of the awards from yesterday. I'm just going to pull these up on the screen. I know most of you guys saw them, but we will just to make sure.
Just touch on them.
We'll just touch on them real quick. So, that's not it. There we go. That's why Max is here. Okay. So, first team All-SEC yesterday. This was, let me just quickly note this because this is important. Selected by the league's head coaches, okay? So, this is not the media awards. I saw people yesterday, the media. Selected by the coaches here, folks. The head coaches select this. So, the first team was Darius Acuff, Jacoby Gillespie, Tommy H., LeBaron Philon, Tyler Tanner. I don't think you're going to get much pushback from us on that. We did say, and this is why we said it all year long, and I mean, Jacoby Gillespie's numbers have just been absurd. And so, even though Sam gives us pushback on hyping up Jacoby Gillespie, if you look at the comps and the kind of season he's had, it's really one of the better point guard seasons. Not named Darius Acuff, maybe. I mean, he's right on par, I think, with the other guys when you look at the numbers. So, yeah. So, I mean, not a surprise, I think, that the coaches would put Jacoby Gillespie on the first team because, again, I think who is it? I had Rubin, you had Condon. So, yeah. I mean, that's probably just us kind of leading into what we leaned in all year long with Florida. But, I mean, it's no surprise to see Jacoby Gillespie there. So.
No, I was singing some Gillespie praises over the last few weeks, just his numbers are the numbers that he has presented 3-point wise, and just kind of usage wise, it does warrant a first team selection. I think I had him as my second player off. I think I went Rubin first player off first team, Jacoby second team off. So, I mean, yeah, right there.
Yeah. Yep. So, again, I don't think that's much of a surprise. Second team, all SEC, Nate Ament, Rubin, Mark Mitchell, Tego Away, Dalen Swain. I mean, there's really no pushback there.
We pretty much had identical second teams.
Yeah, listen, the only thing that we had different, and this is where I think you look at the past month versus the entire whole of SEC play, like it's not shocking to see Alex Condon on the third team. By any means, I don't think, because he did get off to a somewhat slower start than a lot of these other guys, and yet I think, and I think both of us think, that was enough. The push he had over the past month or so was enough to push him higher. But again, we're splitting hairs here. because we both had Nate Amon, I think, on the third team, and all the others. Yeah, Ruben, of course, was on my first, your second. We both had Mitchell, Owe, Swain on our second, and then to the third team, again, no surprise. Condon's there, so he's the swap for the other, and then Rashawn Agee, Keyshawn Hall, Josh Hubbard, Aiden Holloway. I think we pretty much had some combination of that. Is there someone not on this list that we had? I feel like there's someone missing, and I'm trying to think of who it was.
Not on first or second team. We all had all the players in the first or second. It was just like the last player of the third team. I think I picked Brazil as my last guy instead
That's
of.
right. It was Brazil. Yep. That's
Aiden
the one.
Holloway. But when we were giving our third teams, we mentioned that, Aiden Holloway was one of those guys that was absolutely right there on the, in contention for that third team. And we knew going in, seeing Alex Condon, I think Alex Condon was the last member of my first team. I'm really bought a lot into the last month of play that he had, and kind of his points, rebounds, assist numbers. It's like there's a specific stat where it's like the only players that are scoring this amount, rebounding this amount, and assisting this amount. I don't know the exact stat off the top of my head, but it's just like Cam Boozer and Alex Condon are like the only two guys do it. It's a ridiculous stat. But we knew coming into it, Blake, that one of the Florida guys was going to get pushed down just by virtue of there's three of them all up there, and one of them's probably going to get the short end of the stick. Just happens to be Condon on third team.
Yeah. So, like I said, I think this is about what we expected. We were debating Josh Hubbard, should he be higher, but winds up on the third team here. And again, it just a lot of that, like it or not, it's going to be team success. It's going to factor into some of it. And Hubbard just went off a lot of times, but I think that was a thing. So, all right. So there you go. No surprise, I think, on those. Let me pull up the other awards here, and we'll look at those. Again,
couldn't get a Georgia player on either. We both were talking about that with Wilson and with Blue Cane maybe or something like that. But Georgia had a good enough season to have a player get recognized. It just didn't shake out that way.
I mean, I feel like to Georgia, a little more balanced maybe compared, and I'm not talking about Florida, but some of these others maybe in the middle. Because you had Wilkinson, Kane, Smurf, Catching, Surreal, they all averaged basically between 10 and 17 points. So it was a pretty balanced effort, I thought, for the Bulldogs, so maybe that hurts a little bit. But yeah, Wilkinson I thought was the leading candidate there, but just missed. All right. All defensive team, King Ruben, Sakto, Surreal, Felix Okpara, Billy Richmond, Tyler Tanner. I don't really see any pushback from that's a defensive team right there. Like that is a squad defensively.
Yeah.
So would have no pushback.
No pushback.
Yeah. All freshman team: Darius Acuff, Amari Allen, Nate Ament, Malachi Moreno, Malik Thomas. I mean, were we going to push back there?
No Amari Allen on the third team. He did have a little bit of a shake. I mean, I'm being extremely critical here, but he did have a little bit of a shaky end to the year. He had the 2-point game against Tennessee, followed up by the 3-point game against Georgia there, last game of February, first game of March. I mean, I don't know if just a little short 2-game sample size coming back from injury was enough to knock Amari Allen off an award, but I felt like for a while there in SEC play, Amari Allen was playing well enough to be considered a top 15 guy at least.
I thought Aiden Holloway was a little more consistent, and I think that was the difference. I think there was a little more consistency. I mean, Holloway had a couple games, I feel like, early in SEC play where he didn't score a lot, but I do think the consistency.
They might have canceled each other out. There were probably a few Holloway votes, a few Allen votes, and they don't make it.
Yeah, that's possible. So, so again, I don't have any pushback on the defensive team. We're all freshman team. And then Coach of the Year, Todd Golden. We both had that. Player of the Year, Darius Acuff. No shock. Scholar Athlete of the Year, King Ruben. A scholarly King Ruben.
What's the criteria for scholar athlete, Blake? What do you?
I feel like it's. I mean, I don't know. I assume like some GPA stuff's got to be involved in there somewhere, right? But I mean, there's probably more to it. I mean, I would assume quite a few guys had the same GPA or whatever, but I don't know. So
is Ruben a secret genius behind the scenes here?
He's a scholar. I mean, he's a king. There's a reason this guy has been
What
anointed as the king.
what can you
So,
not do?
yeah, high GPA, goes to class, all this other stuff. So, that's what it's all about. All right. Newcomer of the year, Dalen Swain. I don't think that's a big surprise, right? Freshman of the
Could
year.
have been him or
Shocker.
Gillespie. I thought it both would have been.
Oh, that's right. We did say Gillespie. Yeah. I think I probably would have went Gillespie, but it's close.
Two great transfers that had big time impacts.
Herb gets the sixth man of the year, and then Ruben gets the defensive player of the year. So,
yeah, good for Herb. I wanted
there you go.
I feel bad for Georgia. You know, they only get the Somto defensive team, and I thought they played well enough to have just a little bit more recognition. You know, awards are usually centered towards the more successful teams, and it's like you're not highlighting the season that Georgia had too much with all those backcourt guys. I would have liked to see I know it's not how the awards shake out, but with how many Florida awards there are, I would have liked to see Millender get six man, but Irby just blasting threes, making north of 40%, over 40 makes in conference plays crazy. So he's plenty deserving. I just kind of felt bad that Georgia wasn't recognized more.
Yeah, that's the thing. I just feel like the balance and for the Bulldogs really probably had some splitting votes. And I mean, Wilkinson did miss out. Sean brought it up. How many games did Wilkinson miss? Wasn't that many, was it? How many he missed?
No, he only missed a few.
Yeah, he missed 2 games. But I mean,
you could lean on that maybe.
Yeah, that could matter. Yeah, that could matter. He missed a couple games. So, okay. So there are your awards. Yeah, I don't have a lot more to add. I thought those were pretty standard. Not a lot of. I mean, now listen, it's it's awards. People are going to overreact nonsensically, plenty. But I didn't think there was much to push back on at all, really. So.
No, I had a nice back and forth there with the passionate Hogs fans. It is March.
You don't say.
It is March.
You don't
it is
say.
March.
Yeah.
Hey, I wouldn't want it any other way.
Nothing like some personal attacks over talking about that another player could actually be pretty good. So,
yeah, you can't have everything though. All right, this is 2026,
right? In
the age of social media, and that's gonna happen. I think that if Arkansas fans didn't give me left, right, and uppercut, hooks, anything you want over not picking Darius Acuff, then something's wrong with the Arkansas fans. Why aren't they up in arms over me not picking their guy? I think all is well and as it should be. Arkansas fans, I love you guys.
Well, we'll see if that's reciprocated here. And Logan, we appreciate your apology to Max Barr. We'd like it signed.
It's all.
But
this is the game we play. This is
the game we play.
This is March.
This is is it? This is March. No, we love our Arkansas fans. We love our Gator fans. We love all the fans here.
Yes.
So we'll see how many people love us after we make our game by game predictions for the SEC tournament. All right.
Yes.
America's Weatherman is here.
Yes.
Josh with a $10 super chat. Like an EF5 tornado in March, Darius Acuff Jr. swept through those SEC awards. Woo pig suey from Josh. Already got the nice wording there. $10 super chat from Josh as well. Max Barr is an olive branch from the Razorback fan base. Give us a hog call. That'll make up for it. Call the Hogs. So.
We've got the first ever EF5 tornado call here in March. I'm using that in my picks.
Sucks. I'm coming back.
I'm using that in my picks. EF5 tornado sweeping the awards. Good for Acuff though. I mean, he deserved it, right? Was not undeserving of the award. I think I would have been up in arms if it was anyone other than. I know there was some Phylon love here and there, but I was more than okay. Acuff or Tommy, either one of those. If it didn't go to one of them, I would have been pitchforking in the street and rioting. But Acuff, Tommy H, give it to one of them, and I'm good.
All right, I'm going to refresh and come back in because the internet's kind of a mess. There's weather coming through, whatever. So I'll be right back. We can get to Quinn's super chat, and I'm coming right back in.
All right, as Blake is doing that, I am going to run you real quick through. Oh, as you can see, look at that. Look at the sun trying to blast through my window there as I cover my Pats blanket. So last night, there were quite a few. What? That took 2 seconds.
Yeah, it's March. This is March.
Oh my gosh. I was ready to run through last night's bubble action and the conference tournament stuff. And
go through it. Come on, we're delaying what everyone's here for, anyways. We'll get to the tournament predictions in a second, but there's a lot of news to get to before we actually get to what we wanted to get to. So,
there's injury news for Duke as well that is just broken. That's big time. Caleb Foster, point guard, out for the season. Holy smokes, is that big? They rely on him a ton. But last night, guys, there's a different feeling about March this year. Blake, we had the Boston over Navy buzzer beater. Last night, Hofstra banked in buzzer beater in overtime to beat Towson. Huge, just big time shots when overtime to go to March Madness and stuff. The madness is in the air. You had Santa Clara hit an early Bill Raftery Onions call up by 2. With on their last possession against St. Mary's, bang a triple, the dagger triple to set up Zag Santa Clara tonight. That all but locked in Santa Clara into the tournament. They might even be off Dayton now and into the buys, the last few buys. Furman is back and dancing, and they're playing pretty well. Won the SoCon last night easily, 76-61. Just a ton going on. Robert Morris went down. Robert Morris was projected in to be the Horizon League champion. Detroit Mercy takes them down last night. Just 1 seeds in conference tournaments, Blake, dropping left and right lately. It's been a wild week so far.
Yeah, and that's what I've always pushed that I think if we're going to do anything with this tournament, any kind of expansion or whatsoever, I realize we love the chaos of March, but I also think if you want the best tournament, we got to find a way for these 1 seeds and these 1-bid leagues, after running through their league for an extended amount of time, we got to get them into the NCAA tournament if we're expanding this thing to 90-something teams. Don't give me this nonsense of having 13 and 18 power conference teams in over these teams. Nonsense. We got to find a way to get those teams in. Now, at the same time, it's March. You know what you're signing up for here. It's March. Come on. You got to be able to hold off the bid stealers. And, yeah, these conference tournaments have been wild so far. But
yeah, a lot of upsets, a lot of projected conference tournament. Wilmington lost the other night. A lot of 1 seeds dropping out early. And then tonight, it's like all the mid-major semifinals and conference championships. You got Hofstra Monmouth tonight to go to the dance. You got Wright State, Detroit Mercer to go to the dance. Long Island against Mercyhurst. There's tickets being punched left and right. Merrimack Siena is tonight for the MAC championship. It's the Big Sky and Southland semis, and then Big 12, Big 10 starting their first rounds of tournaments. It's go time, folks. It is absolute go time.
All right, we're about to get to the brackets, and before we do, a couple super chats here from Quinn. Nice to see Quinn, always. $2 super chat. Came to Max's defense on Twitter. Quinn is the shield. We're going to have to put him into the royal family. He's the shield here for Quinn. So, but Quinn also said $5 super chat. Doesn't care about March Madness this year. He's going to be watching the NCAA wrestling next week instead of the first 2 rounds of the tournament.
Oh, yes. Do you watch the Big 10s and the Big 12s this past weekend? It was the wrestling conference championships. Watching.
Believe it or not, I've seen some of that. So
really,
you told me that time you were going to one of those, and I actually watched that one on TV. It was on at the time. I'm like, wait a minute, is this where Max Barr is at right now?
Yeah.
And yeah, I've actually seen a couple of them. I watched someone the other night. It was at Oklahoma State, maybe, and somebody.
Yes.
It was quite a high profile matchup. So Yeah.
Yeah,
I
fun
like
fact,
getting into
right?
like getting into the fake stuff here. The college wrestling. I like the
Yeah,
real
yeah,
stuff,
sure,
WWE,
sure,
but the fake stuff's good
sure,
too. So,
sure.
yeah.
Fun fact, my dad was a wrestler. He wrestled at Syracuse. And then
That's right.
I wrestled in, pee-wees, middle school, high school, and everything. I always liked wrestling, and I get into them as well. I'll be watching with you, Quinn.
All right. You heard it here. Live watch along. Wrestling this March. $2 super chat from Quinn. He'll be in on this. All right. Here we go. We got some ad reads to do, and then we're going to give you the bracket. Here we go. And caller, A&D. We got a lot of sponsors in March, folks. I got a lot to get to here. A&D, collar.com. Performance menswear brand. Stretchy, affordable, make you look good. Remember, that was Tommy H yesterday when it came to my and collar award for the year. And yeah, head over there. The polos, the button-ups, the quarter zips. Might have to bring out the quarter zip in after the news of Lamont Paris returning.
Yes.
So might have to break that out for the SEC tournament, perhaps. So yeah, head over there, get all that good stuff. Use our code SEC16, 16% off your entire order. Man, polos, button-ups, quarter zips, pants, you name it, they got it all. Head over there for the stain resistance, the comfort, wrinkle resistance, lightweight. The price is great. SEC16, 16% off over at andcollar.com. ROKFORM, ROKFORM.com. The world's strongest magnetic phone case, extreme protection, super strong magnets, rock lock, secure mounting, SEC25, 25% off your entire order over at rockform.com, ROKFORM.com. Great phone cases, golf accessories, all that good stuff. If you're ready to go golfing, if you don't care about basketball, then you shouldn't be watching this stream. Get the hell out of here because we're talking about ROKFORM, ROKFORM.com. SEC25, 25% off. And head over to our friends at Icon Wallets. Take all that cash you're winning for your nice golf game or FanDuel, put it in your pocket because you head over there with some premium Napa leather. Touch it. It feels good. Premium Napa leather. They got the 3 interchangeable University Icons, officially licensed collegiate wallets, SEC16 for 20% off over at Icon Wallets and Zilker belts.
Ooh.
If you want to be nice and tight. Where did teat come from? Teat? The hell am I talking about? It's March. Southeastern 16 for 25% off over at Zilker belts. Nice and tight with the belts. Put those around your waist right there. Unbelievable belts they've got over there. They got some great stuff. New sponsor. Been checking out the products.
Dog leashes as well.
They do. They have dog leashes. They have all kinds of great stuff. Like, it's tremendous. They got, like, kids' belts. They got bandanas. They got hats. They got wallets, too. They got all kinds of stuff, man. So, head over there. Zilker. ZILKER. Belts.com. ZilkerBelts.com. I want to put the link in that. A new sponsor here. Link them up in the chat. Go check out the nice stuff they got. Southeastern 16 over there for, again, 25% off.
There you go.
Nice okay.
Nice 25.
Wow. 25% off. Incredible. All right. We're going to have to timestamp their ad reads now. We got so many of them.
I know.
Okay. Here we go. Let's pull up the bracket. We're going to make our picks. Oh, I think I may have removed the bracket here. Let me find it, and we will put this up on the screen.
Hands are getting sweaty, Blake. Hands are getting sweaty. I'm nervous.
Yeah, well, you should be, because you got to pick a bracket here, pal. So, all right, here we go. Sean, yeah, that's right. That Meet the Parents line. That's what it sounded like. So, okay, here we go. The SEC tournament bracket in all its glory right here. Here we go, Max. Are you ready? Game-by-game picks. We will pick every single game. This is not a gut bracket, folks.
Nope.
Okay, so we may take a little more time on some of these matchups. And as I said, don't forget, we will every day make our predictions for that day's slate as the tournament progresses. But for now, we're doing this up front, trying to pick our winner straight from the get-go. Here we go. The tournament tips off on Wednesday. Can't believe I'm saying this. Kentucky, LSU, the 9-16. Now, let's remember the last time around, because LSU remembers.
Yep.
Kentucky. On an all-freshman team, Malachi Moreno buzzer beater gets the win in Baton Rouge. Now, will Kentucky have Cam Williams? Is that a possibility for this game? The Cats and the Tigers.
Well, you said we'll be repicking as the days go on.
Mm-hmm.
I think you meant to say you'll be repicking because I'm about to pick a perfect bracket.
Oh, okay.
So I just wanted to clarify that because the Cats are going to be winning the first game of the SEC tournament here. I know what the first game was. I know it was a tight one. And I know that LSU was up by 18 in that game and looked really, really good. They looked like the better team. They started real hot. But the thing is that was a very long time ago. And I know the Cats have been struggling here down the stretch, lost their last two games there, but it wasn't, I liked what I saw against Florida. Like, I think there's something to take over from that second half of the Florida game. They're getting smoked in the first half, and they fight. They come back, and they make it a game. They make it respectable. And LSU, it's been a lost season. No Deaton Thomas, no Jalen Reed. McKinnon's been incredible. They've had some OT magic. They've had some games of late shot clock threes where they beat Missouri at home, but no magic in Nashville for the Tigers, in my opinion. I'm going Cats.
Yeah, you went a lot further than that than I was going to. I'm going to pick Kentucky in this game. And my analysis is I think Kentucky will win this game. So that's my thoughts on this one.
They were losing 40-22.
They were. LSU. Can you imagine what do you think the reaction looks like if LSU wins this game?
Well, that's what I'm a little scared about because I feel like the entire country that is going to either wager on this game or you're an SEC fan and you're picking this game, not a single person's taking LSU. And LSU looked like the better team the last time they played. It was a while ago, I know, but they looked like the better team for a good solid 30 minutes of that game. Like, I don't like just, okay, Kentucky by 1 million. I don't think so.
Yeah. All right. I don't think it's going to be Kentucky by 1 million either. I do think they will have the crowd advantage in this game. I think there will be more Kentucky fans probably than LSU fans. I think there will be all blue in the building. The first session, you'll have some Auburn fans there. You have some Mississippi State, some LSU, but there'll be a lot of blue in Nashville. It's going to get, a little feisty between the Tigers and the Cats. I got Kentucky.
Do you remember Kentucky's first round or their first SEC game last year? Where it was 85-84, an absolute nail biter, Kentucky against Oklahoma.
No, I don't remember that at all. So,
been playing tight games in the first one.
What was the seeding on that game?
I'm not sure.
I don't remember either. Okay. The 12-13, Auburn, Mississippi State. Simple setup here. Auburn, I think, really needs to win this game. But could they get Hubbarded? Because we go back not long ago when these two teams played, February 18th. Mississippi State won 91-85 in Starkville. Josh Hubbard. This was the same night with the Alabama-Arkansas game, right? Josh Hubbard scored 46 that night. There's a cup went off. He went off. What a night. That's still February 18th, the wildest game night in SEC play I've seen in a long time. Hubbard went off for 46. They went 16 of 30 from 3. Are you kidding me right now? Oh, my. I think this is going to be my pick right here of the game that will be the wildest of the first round. This game's going to be nuts. I don't care in any way, shape, or form. It's going to be nuts. So,
chaos call here?
Yeah.
I think Auburn wins this one pretty easily.
Pretty easily?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. I cannot say that with any confidence whatsoever.
102, 108, 88, 100, 97. Those are the totals that Mississippi State has allowed their last 5 games. 102. They've let up over 100 3 times in their last 5 games. They can't defend a thing.
96, 85, 91, 91, 88, 84-96. That's the number of points at times that Auburn has allowed since February the 7th.
I didn't hear any
Ain't
hundred.
nobody playing defense in this game, which means all bets are off here. I'm going to pick Auburn. But I don't think it's pretty easily, though. I'm just going to be honest with you. I don't think it's pretty easily because I could absolutely see Josh Hubbard going off. But I think Auburn, they have to win this game, right? They
I
got
think the
to.
spread, it'll be like Auburn -6.5, -7.5. They win by like 10, double digits.
Hmm.
I'd be.
We'll
I
see.
mean, if you're
Oh, wait.
season,
We do have the spread already from our friends
do?
over at FanDuel. Auburn is a 7.5-point favorite. Oh, my.
there you go. See,
Yeah, see, it always goes according to what FanDuel. Come on. 7.5. That's a lot of points. Kentucky, by the way, 6.5-point favorite against LSU. Now, that to me is more interesting than anything else. They're only a 6.5-point favorite in the 9-16 game. Auburn in the 12-13 is a 7.5-point favorite. What should that be telling me? Oh, man. How about that? All right. So if Auburn wins by 30, Max Barr called it. Over under 158.5.
double digits.
158.5 here. All right. We both got Auburn. Texas and Ole Miss, the 10-15 here. Texas over at FanDuel, 5.5-point favorite in this game.
This is the tightest of the first day here, I think, right? 5.5.
Yes.
barely?
Oklahoma's, well, man, Oklahoma's only a 6.5-point favorite against South Carolina.
We got a -6.5, -7.5, -5.5, and -6.5.
Ain't no way all the favorites are winning. Ain't no chance that all the favorites are winning these games.
No shot. All the favorites are winning. And it might just be this game. I think I'm going to go with my gut here. I got to pick an upset somewhere. I'm going Kentucky. I'm going Auburn. Texas, without that the two-man rotation there with Traore and Voki Titus, there's been a little bit of a dip in the front court production. And Ole Miss, just is one of those weird teams where you don't know what team you're going to get, but they just took Vanderbilt to overtime, beat Auburn. I'll go Ole Miss on an upset.
No upset here in the Chris Beard Bowl. I'm going to go Texas. They got more on the line. And I think they really need to win this one, although, as we were talking about at some point today, we'll probably do another video or stream on the bracket situation, bracketology. I mean, Texas could lose and still be okay with this bubble. But I'm going Texas. I think they really need to win this game. And so I'm gonna pick them.
It gets a little testy if they lose.
Yeah, they're sliding back a bit more than I thought they would. So there's that. Okay. Just quickly, I was going to kind of grab these super chats as we went through each of these games. We'll just circle back around to Josh's $10 super chat. Hot take says Auburn doesn't make the NCAA tournament unless they win the SEC. 16-loss team won't be allowed in, just my opinion. That was my opinion for a long time, Josh, but when I look at this bubble and they got to field 68 teams, I can't say it's a 0% chance anymore. I can't. This bubble is awful. It's just an awful bubble. And
it's the worst bubble of all time.
It statistically is the worst bubble ever. So from that standpoint, if there's ever going to be a 16-loss team that gets in, it could be a team that has a strength of schedule like Auburn's. I don't think it's 0 anymore. So I will note that. Quinn, $5 super chat. How many points will Hubbard put up against this? Over under 35. Ooh. I'm going over. I'm sorry.
Over.
I'm gonna go 36. Give me 36 for Josh Hubbard.
I'm gonna go under.
Of course you are. You don't like fun. All right. Quinn, $2 super chat. Dreading watching this game. And Happy Face Coffee, $2 super chat. Auburn doesn't lose another game. Let's go. All right. Now we're ready to get it going. So.
And now I'm kind of scared of how confident I am in Auburn.
Yeah, I was a little surprised that you went that in on Auburn in that regard. Okay. South Carolina, Oklahoma, the 11-14 here. Again, Oklahoma's a 6.5-point favorite in this game. when did we last see these teams play?
January.
A long time ago. Yeah. South Carolina won that one. That's right. 85-76. That was before Oklahoma. Oklahoma never led the entire game. 5 of 27 from 3, turned it over. Yeah. A little bit different, maybe.
Yeah, South Carolina, 9 of 20 from 3. You got 3 of 4 from 3 from Elijah Strong, 3 of 5 from Miles Studi. So you get a rare kind of 9 3-pointers at 45% for South Carolina. And Oklahoma had probably their worst shooting night of conference play, 18%, 5 of 27. So you had one team swing to their hottest in 3-point variance and one team swing to their lowest. I think these teams have been on opposite ends over the last month. When you filter Torvik to show data from February 1st till now, Oklahoma comes in 23rd in the country, South Carolina 108th. I'm going to go Oklahoma.
So the news this morning, if you didn't see it, Lamont Paris will be back next season. And I don't think that's a big surprise. It will be to some people, but big buyout. Remember, they extended the contract a couple of years ago when they had the 26-8 season. So very large buyout, and it's the same thing I've been telling you. South Carolina understands they have to commit more money, and if they don't, then it doesn't matter who their coach is right now. So yeah, so Lamont Paris will be back next season, and they need to spend more. That's what it comes down to. So this is my game that I think is your Auburn Mississippi State game, because I think Oklahoma's going to win this big.
Yeah.
So I'm going to pick this as my rock lock first round. It's listen, -6.5 at FanDuel, and the money's moving in South Carolina's direction. So,
did you pick an upset first round?
No, I did not.
Okay.
Yeah, of course not. That's just a complete coward. All right. Of course I didn't. Now let's see if you want to get some upsets, because now I got some upsets brewing for you, perhaps. Okay. The 8-9 game. Missouri against Kentucky.
Ooh.
The rematch from Lexington. Remember, after this game was played back on January the 7th, our entire conversation was around, well, Mark Pope fired, out of here. That's where the chat was headed after that night. Didn't happen. He's still the coach, and yeah, but this is, again, that game was played a long time ago, 73-68 on January the 7th. Kentucky was kind of in control of the game down the stretch. Kentucky fans, I remember, I have no doubt. 5 minutes ago, they were up 8. They just made some terrible turnovers, some terrible offensive possessions, and all that. And so now we get the rematch with Missouri having more to play for here, given their standing in the NCAA tournament. But my opinion now, Max, is I think Missouri, at worst, is headed to Dayton. I don't think there's any way they're left out of the field.
Yeah, I think Missouri's all right. I did a SEC tournament preview last night with ODJ Hoops on YouTube, if you guys want to check that out. But we were just absolutely stumped by this matchup right here. Absolutely stumped. Love the way that Mizzou has been playing and kind of how the rotation has ironed out. I know they dropped the 2 games to end the season, some head scratching possessions, some turnovers from T.O. Barrett and whatnot that are just like, why? You're right in the game. Big win over Vandy, big win over Tennessee. So you like the way that Mizzou has been playing, but when you look at what's been the story of the catalyst for Kentucky all year has been their ability to get out and transition and run. And this is a Missouri team that comes in SEC play dead last in offensive turnover rate. They cough it up a lot. So it kind of is the perfect type of team for Kentucky to play to get behind a favorable crowd and get their transition offense going. So it's like, man, tough game here.
This is a tough game. I think this is this one's difficult from the way these two teams match up. I would be stunned if the spread in this game. Well, a lot of it's going to depend on what Kentucky does against LSU. You'll have some reactionary, lines here, but I feel like I'd be surprised if this is like 2.5 one way or the other. I just can't imagine it's any more than that. unless Kentucky wins at the buzzer again, maybe. And Missouri's a 3.5, 4.5 point favorite or something. But remember, I'm going to keep adding in this factor here, is it's going to be a home game for Kentucky. They will most likely play a home game in every game they play in this tournament just because of how many fans will be in the building. There'll be a lot of Florida fans there, no doubt. Any other potential matchup they could have, of course, Tennessee, if that happened, you'd have all those possibilities. But that's just Kentucky's the home team here. And, I don't know. I think this is kind of a weird one. But this is where when you're picking the bracket up front, not knowing what's going to happen in round one, it's really hard to go in strong on round two. So, I don't know. Who do you think on this one?
I think the line should be, what the line should be is like a -1.5 either way. But I think what it will be is I think it could even be out to like Kentucky -3.5, Kentucky -2.5, just because you're going to get the little bit of public side on Kentucky. It's Kentucky. Mm-hmm. But the analytics also have on the season Kentucky a bit higher. So I think if Kentucky does get by LSU, it'll be like Kentucky maybe -150 on the money line, -160-ish, something like that. And I do think they can work their defense, their turning turnovers into offense in a game like this. Probably Missouri with the lead most of the game, up by 4, up by 5. And then as it goes on, the crowd just becomes more and more of a factor. The turnovers start to mount up. Always getting to the free throw line. Aberdeen's getting to the free throw line, and Kentucky wins by single digits here.
Yeah, I'm picking Kentucky too. I just think that there's just something, like I said, if a team plays well on day one, we've seen this a lot, where day two, you kind of keep that energy going, that confidence is there. But like I said, Kentucky is probably the hardest team to gauge on that, maybe outside of Auburn right now, of what you're going to get on day one. So without knowing that, I'm going to pick Kentucky, but could just as easily, as we said, see a line that's a little bit closer than you would expect between Kentucky and LSU. So don't discount that either. Okay, next one. We both got Tennessee as the 5, Auburn as the 12 here in this matchup.
Do we know how Nate is doing?
I don't feel like we have any clarification yet, do we, on his status? Let me get a quote from Rick Barnes here. He says he expects him to play in the tournament, but I guess the question is, what does that mean necessarily? I mean, does that mean he's going to play no matter what in the first game, or?
Okay, well, that'll be certainly, when we do our Thursday morning show, obviously that'll be a major topic, because if Nate isn't good, there could be, for both Mississippi State or Auburn, 100% game for an upset. Ament does so much for that team. Not even just offensively, just being 6'10" at the 3, like what he does for the offensive rebounding, what he does for the versatility defensively. Different team without him there. But I'll pick Tennessee just because Mississippi State or Auburn. I know I said I like Auburn confidently, but geez, Mississippi State could definitely go Hubbard mode and win that game. I'm not picking Mississippi State or Auburn to win 2 games. I can't do it. Give me Tennessee.
Yeah, so this is where, because we're doing this exercise like this, I have way more unknowns, I feel like, with the Auburn-Mississippi State matchup than you do, and so therefore I can't confidently pick them to win the next game because I don't know which team is going to be sitting there. So if I'm doing it like your initial bracket challenge here, I'm going to pick Tennessee to advance, just because I think that there's a better chance of that happening. So, I'm going to pick Tennessee. But remember, Auburn did play Tennessee well in Knoxville, somewhat, right? I think. What was that, a 8-point game? If I remember that right? Yeah, 8-point game. All right. No upset there. Where are the upsets coming? Well, you may ask. Georgia is the 7 against Texas is the 10, or Ole Miss is the 15 here for you. Your thoughts on your matchup?
Yeah, I had Ole Miss as my first round upset over Texas. But I can't take him to win 2 games here. Georgia's been on fire from 3, and geez, their only loss in the last 6 games is at Vandy by 8 points. This team's playing great basketball right now. Give me Georgia.
I said the upsets may be coming. We are still searching because I'm going to pick Georgia in this one. Yeah, I have more confidence in the way they're shooting the ball right now, and Texas has been too up and down for me. But Texas is so streaky that I could absolutely see them reeling off a couple wins here to get to Friday. A rematch with an Alabama team they've already beaten. So, see, I just don't, there's just not, the bubble teams have been so unpredictable that it's just really hard to pick some of these teams to go any further than where they are right now. So, it's just difficult. So, I'm going to pick Georgia in this one. Okay, Texas A&M against Oklahoma.
Ooh. This one's tough.
I got to have an upset somewhere. Bo already thinks I hate Texas A&M, which I don't. But I got to have an upset somewhere. And the absurdity of Oklahoma being in Lenardi's first 4 out come Friday is already setting in. And just saying.
All right, so you're going Oklahoma?
Well, I was going to let you pick first, and then I was going to see if I stuck with my pick, and from a minute from now. But they lost both games to Oklahoma. Hard to beat a team 3 times. Don't forget that.
That's the thing is, Texas A&M does have some weaknesses, but Oklahoma's not built to take advantage of those like physicality weaknesses. They kind of match up both kind of perimeter oriented. But yeah, I mean, like you said, it's not like it's been blowouts. The first game at home when Texas A&M was at home, it was a 7-point game, and then the win on the road in late February was a 4-point game. So it's not like, okay, we've had 2 blowouts. One team is clearly the better team, but we might get a weird, funny line at like Texas A&M minus 3.5 when they've crushed them both times, and it's just you got all these funny feeling like, oh, something weird's gonna happen. Doesn't feel like that. These were 2 super close games, and now this spread is going to probably, if it does happen, this spread would be close to a pick'em, I think. Are you worried at all about a potential South Carolina win in the first round?
Of course I am. Because I said I was most confident in that result of Oklahoma beating South Carolina, which of course means South Carolina is going to come out and go 14 of 18 from 3. And Oklahoma's not going to play a lick of defense, and they're going home. So, of course, I'm worried about that, which is why I always am very conservative with the first and second round upsets, because I'm like, I don't want to ruin my bracket here and pick someone who isn't even going to get to Friday, so let me just have a chance. So I don't know.
So I think when you filter Torvik for February 1st on, Oklahoma's 23rd, A&M's 50th. I mean, Oklahoma's been the better team over the last month of basketball, like over the final stretch here of SEC play. Oklahoma's been better than A&M. But I think that if any team can benefit from having a little bit of a breather here, it's A&M and how their pace of play and how they've been playing undersized this whole time. Get the legs freshened back up, get Ruben's legs back, get AG's legs back. I'm gonna go Texas A&M, and what I think would be a very popular upset pick right here. I think that's a popular upset that maybe doesn't come to fruition. I'm gonna go A&M.
Yeah, I guess I've got to pick A&M. I wanted to pick Oklahoma, but I think you're right about A&M in terms of this format might actually work okay for them. And who was it? Someone, let me find it real quick. Mr. D said here, you think A&M style lends them to be better in a tournament format? I think it can go either way. If they get hot, they can make a run with the quick run of games, or the opposite could be true where you get maybe you're playing a team like this in Oklahoma that gets hot all of a sudden. I don't know. I think it could be I think you're right. It'd go either way, I think. So
I think the Thursday night reaction stream prime time is going to be chaos after that game. I think that's going to be a close game.
Screw it. I'm going Oklahoma. I don't care. Give me the Sooners. Dude, I got to have an upset. I got to have an upset somewhere.
There it is.
I got to.
Yep.
Give me Oklahoma. That means they're out of here in game 1. Sooners, pack your bags. after Wednesday night at the SEC tournament.
Oh, Lord.
So I don't know. I'm thinking about the ridiculousness of they're going to somehow get on the bubble here, aren't they? So I don't know. All right, where are we at? Florida and who? Kentucky?
Florida against Kentucky in the quarters.
Well, what do you know? Here we are again.
Gators.
Yeah, I'm going to pick Florida. So
I don't even know what to say.
I mean, yeah, I don't either. So I mean, it's just hard to beat Florida right now. What else do I say? Like Kentucky has played Florida as well as anybody down the stretch. We have to note that. 9-point game, 7-point game. 2 close games. And a lot of Florida fans will be there, but it will still be a home game for Kentucky. I'm telling you, if this is the setup. But in this session, you'll also have Tennessee fans. They'll have some tickets. Vanderbilt fans have some tickets. But, all right.
If it comes to Friday morning and we're previewing Kentucky versus Florida, it's going to be March. We're going to be...
We will have seen Kentucky win 2 games already, and we're going to be like, all right.
Things are going to get different. But to pick out a bracket right now, to try to do an official bracket, when Kentucky's first round game, they needed a buzzer beater to beat the team, I can't pick them to win then 3 more games.
Yeah, I'm picking Florida.
Yeah.
Okay, Vanderbilt and Tennessee. This, to me, may be the toughest game to pick. The 4-5.
Yeah, and this is I have another Auburn, Mississippi State feeling here, which is just I'll go the opposite way of this. Anytime I'm feeling way too good about a team, it's usually not ending up well. I like Vanderbilt a lot here. You get Tennessee banged up. Both games were pretty close. If we get to this game and Ament plays on Thursday and looks like Ament of conference play and he looks fantastic and it's Tennessee per usual, Friday morning I'm probably going to pick Tennessee. But if it's all if the injuries are still lingering and, they barely got by in Auburn or Mississippi State, I'm going Vanderbilt here off a whole week off.
Well, the regular season was a wash between these two. Tennessee won by 4 at Vanderbilt. Vanderbilt won by 4 at Tennessee. So, I'm picking Tennessee.
Okay.
Yeah, I think that the Nate Ament thing is that just there is an unknown there, and that's where because we're going to be making picks on the day of the game, then I could absolutely swap my pick on that one. But I'm going to pick Tennessee right now.
Okay.
So
we've got some differences.
Okay. By the way, Bo's asking me about the Oklahoma pick. Bo, we all know how I operate here, okay? There is a great chance that come Thursday, when we do our day of picks, that I'm probably going to flip it to Texas A&M for the emotional hedge. Probably so. Because I can change my pick for any of these games. So that's our rule here.
Yes.
Okay. I'm sorry, Justin. I know you want me to pick Vanderbilt, but I just did you a favor if you really think about it. Alabama against Georgia. The rematch. The 2-7.
We going to get 32 bomb from Cannon Catchings again in only 28 minutes?
Yes, I think we are.
Well, that changes things. I know Georgia just won, and I know they're as hot as any team in the country, but I'm picking Alabama here. In that game, you have Catchings go for 30 and hit 7 threes, which he's capable of. I mean, sure. But Amari Allen, only 3 points, fouls out of the game. Jemison gives you nothing off the bench. Bull Bowen gives you nothing. Millette gives you nothing. There were a lot of secondary guys for Alabama that did absolutely nothing. And you had a lot step up for Georgia. They've been the hottest team from 3 in the entire country over the last month. I'm not saying it's going to fall off a cliff, but 47% is a tough percentage to keep going. I think it comes down a little bit. I'll go Alabama.
Yeah, I think that's the thing. Is that 3-point percentage sustainable? When does the off game come? Because the off game is going to come somewhere. And if it doesn't happen before Alabama, I don't know. Alabama's the kind of team that can out duel you there when it comes to that area. I think in this kind of setting, perhaps. So I'm going to pick Alabama too. Okay,
Yep.
Arkansas and either A&M or Oklahoma.
This one might be the easiest one for me in terms of bracket picking. I'm going Arkansas because of how brutally tough that Texas A&M / Oklahoma game could potentially be to pick. Oklahoma could lose to South Carolina the first round, or they could give Arkansas an overtime game. I mean, like it could. Those two possibilities are completely reasonable. So I'm going Arkansas here. I can't confidently pick A&M or Oklahoma to make the semis.
Yeah, given my uncertainty with the second round game, I'm going to pick Arkansas to advance just because I don't have a clue. Yeah, I'm not sold either way on the Texas A&M Oklahoma debate right now. So I'm going to pick Arkansas by default to advance. Plenty of people will be calling the Hogs at Bridgestone Arena. We know that for sure. So, okay, semifinals. I got Florida, Tennessee. You've got Florida, Vanderbilt at the top.
Yep. Two potentially really good games. Tennessee with a front court to match the physicality there of Florida, and Vanderbilt gave Florida one of their best games of SEC play. It was at home, but still, it was a fantastic game that Vanderbilt had opportunities to win or put themselves in winning position with only a few minutes left. I'm gonna go Florida here, but I almost think that this semifinal game we might look back and say, wow, that semifinal game for Florida was pretty testy. They could have lost that game.
We might, but I'm gonna pick Florida. I just think again we mentioned Vanderbilt. That was a 4-point game, one of the better games of the year. The Tennessee Florida game, not so much. Even though we thought when you looked at the rebounding and that kind of stuff, it could get interesting, but. Yeah, so I'm gonna go Florida. I just think that will be an interesting matchup if it's Florida Tennessee again. I don't think it'll be what it was last time. I think it'll be a closer game. But I keep saying this, knowing that Nate Amon is the big factor here, and I guess in my mind I'm just assuming he's playing and he's good to go. But if he's not, then I will be changing my pick when we start making picks on Thursday probably, because when I start to look at Tennessee's path ahead at that point. You just don't know. So, all right, I'm picking Florida to go to the championship. Down here, Alabama, Arkansas. Game of the year. Part 2.
How many overtimes this time? How many overtimes are we going to?
Well, you know who's going to be the home team in this game? It's going to be Arkansas.
Yep.
This one isn't in Tuscaloosa. There's going to be a lot of Arkansas fans there. There will be a lot of Alabama fans, but there's going to be a lot of Arkansas fans there. So, but we'll see.
This might be the hardest pick of the bracket right here. I mean, a 2-point game in double overtime is what we got to go on with these two teams. Literally cannot get any closer. All the lead changes back and forth. I think I'm going to go with Arkansas here. I'm going to go with Arkansas to win. Just because I think there's a better chance that Georgia's 3-point percentage just doesn't drop off right now and they stay hot. I think there's a better chance Georgia knocks off Alabama than one of A&M Oklahoma knocking off Arkansas, albeit maybe it's only like a difference in a point or two on a spread. I'll go Arkansas to make the championship. Yeah. I'll go Arkansas to make the championship.
Yeah, I'm going Arkansas. It's
okay.
I don't know. I just think it's kind of one of those where obviously look at the first game, how great of a game it was. I could see the same scenario playing out again between these two teams. And I kind of like where Arkansas is at right now. I know they lost the game to Florida, but man, look at the two big wins they just got. We saw Alabama lose to Georgia. Alabama's been really good at this tournament, of course, but I'm going to pick Arkansas, I think, in the championship game here.
So we're both setting up a 1 versus 3 championship, Florida, Arkansas?
Yeah. That's it.
And I'm going with the inevitable Gators. Shocker. They might not lose another game. I mean, I don't think I'm going to pick them to lose another game. Florida's been incredible.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of people who are like, well, of course Florida's going to lose. Well, yeah, they might. I mean, they could. Of course they could.
Sure.
But we're picking a bracket here. And if you are confident that Florida's going to lose somewhere, give us the reasoning right now. Because when you do this kind of upfront bracket prediction, there has to be strong reasoning as to why a team is going to lose, I think. And Florida's given me no reason to believe that as of right now. Now, if Kentucky starts to look like Florida, if Missouri starts to look like Florida, Vanderbilt, Tennessee, if they start playing like that, then all of a sudden, maybe expectations change a little bit. But right now, there's only one Florida, and they are just simply a better team. And look, Mr. Snow down there saying Arkansas is the reason. They may be. But the last two teams that I saw play named Florida and Arkansas on a basketball court, it wasn't pretty. And so it may get there. But I think right now, it's just, hey, anyone other than Florida is just really hard to do. So could happen, of course. Could happen.
Just how crazy is it? It just shows how insanely elite Florida has been in conference play. That a team that started 5-4 on the year, with their best win out of those 5 was to a Miami team who's unranked. So you start 5-4 with no ranked wins,
Mm-hmm.
and then you end up getting a 1 seed.
Yep.
First 9 games of the season, you're 5-4 without a ranked win, and then you end up getting a 1 seed. That's how insanely dominant they've been.
Yep. That's it. So, all right. Yeah, and by the way, this was something everyone was bringing this up the other day. Tyler brings it up here. Like, that is the funny part of, like, look at what Missouri's done against their part of the bracket. And so it's so fascinating how it's set up for the Tigers. So maybe Florida or maybe Missouri winds up being Florida's kryptonite. We'll find out. So
those potential second round games are fantastic with the potential Kentucky, Missouri, Auburn, Tennessee, Texas, Georgia, Oklahoma, Texas A&M, all those ton on the line on that Thursday slate if there's no big upsets on Wednesday.
Yeah. All right. There you go. On the way out here, there's our picks. We both got Florida. Sorry for anyone who expected something different. But guess what? You have the ability to fill out your own bracket and let us know who you're picking to win the SEC tournament. So why don't you do that? Instead of calling us out for our picks, why don't you give us your picks in the chat? Who is going to win the SEC tournament? Who have you got in the championship game? Let us know in the comments. All right. Justin, member for 38 months here at Southeastern 16. 38 months. Should we hand out some memberships this morning? Who wants to be a member at Southeastern 16?
Oh, we should.
Sure. Maybe think about that. Why not? The tournament's this week. He says, how was Tanner not the most improved player in the awards? Was there a most improved? Is that an award? Wait, we're talking about our awards. Okay.
I did Sherelle.
All right. And I think I did Ruben. Who else we got here?
Tanner probably deserves.
Yeah, sure. Absolutely should be in there. Yeah. So, absolutely. Is Byington really going to be stolen away due to Vandy screwing the NIL pooch for men's basketball? Well, I mean, I don't know. It's possible, I suppose, but not sure.
I didn't know they did that.
I don't know. I mean, Mark Byington there'll be plenty of people that wouldn't mind having Mark Byington as their basketball coach, I would think. So
yeah, he's gonna be a hot commodity.
So it's something to consider, maybe. All right, but we'll see what that looks like when we get there, if that becomes an issue for the Commodores. On the way out, let's give out some memberships here, and let's see. Again, you guys let us know in the comments who you're picking to, let's see. All right, give me a second. Sorry, the internet's not working to pull this up.
No, you're all good. Thomas says, on the real, Michigan will just blow all of these teams out. Did you not hear LJ Kaysen is out for the season? 6-man, 40% shooter off the bench. Extremely important to a tournament run. I'm off of Michigan now. I'm not picking them to win it all without Kaysen. And then Duke without Caleb Foster. Point guard out. I'm off of Duke. I'm pretty much down to Arizona versus Florida. That's if they're on opposite sides of the bracket, I don't really care. I'm just going to Sharpie in Florida versus Arizona and then let the rest work itself out.
All right. Okay, let's hand out some memberships. Sorry, we were having issues over here with this thing. Okay, here we go. We're going to hand out, how about we hand out 5 free memberships this morning? We'll save some for some others, but here we go. Random choice. We don't get to pick these. Remember, they are just completely random from YouTube. Let's see who gets in with a free supporter membership here. Remember, if you want to get the bonus content, you'll have to upgrade to MVP. $2 more, but come on, you're getting a free membership. The $3.99 tier. Shannon. Tyler's in. Cole's Tiger's in. Cody's in. And Coach. Coach is here.
All right, Coach.
All of our new members, congratulations here at Southeastern 16. All right. We're out of here. We appreciate you guys. And do we miss anything? Big Gator EJ Super Chat, $5 here. Saw CBS projected Houston as the 2 seed in the South with us as the 1. Not fair because they would have to play Houston as the 2 seed in Houston. That wouldn't be great for the Gators. So,
not worried about Houston.
Well, you heard it here first. Not worried about Houston. So, all right. There we have it. We appreciate you guys. TBD. We might do something else today. I think that is our plan. When it comes to bracketology, give you an updated bubble, watch, all that kind of stuff. We'll figure it out. And yeah, we'll obviously turn on the notifications so you know when we go live and or put up a new video. We got some football, spring practice stuff coming out today as well. I think we got Missouri and Florida up first. So
yes.
Any fan bases in here curious about that, we'll have some videos on that. Of course, baseball will be back soon as well. So there you go. All right. Thanks for watching. We appreciate you guys. We'll talk to you soon here at Southeastern 16, presented by FanDuel.